Afternoon, everyone. Hope you are all well. Thanks for joining me on this very bright and sunny Thursday afternoon. Blimey, I nearly said Tuesday then. That's how my brain is working this week. First of all, happy Halloween. No, I'm not wearing a mask, but happy Halloween if you're into that sort of thing. But this week, to be fair, it's been a bit of a bloody horror show all week, hasn't it? We didn't need Halloween, did we? For it to be a horrible week in many ways. Started off well last Saturday and, well, it went downhill from there, didn't it, really? Now, today I'm going to be throwing open a link to the show where you can join me. You can come on live and have your say. There are a couple of rules. First of all, you got to keep it decent. You got to keep it legal. If you don't, you will immediately be kicked out and banned from the show. That's the first thing. The second thing is we cannot and must not talk about the Southport case. That doesn't stop us from asking some questions about the government, and I'll be doing that a little bit later on. But please bear in mind that you do have to adhere to the law. That is very important indeed. Now, before I throw open the link to the show this afternoon, I just want to tell you all that I've been having hundreds and thousands, literally thousands of emails and messages, and I cannot get around to answering them all, unfortunately. So if you sent me a message and I haven't replied, please don't be offended. Let's have a little look. Heather says, how's Tommy? As far as I know, he's absolutely fine. He is now in that suite, we hope, permanently for the remainder of his sentence. We're hoping that might even be reduced. There are things going on all the time and in the background that I can't talk to you about. But, yeah, he's okay as could be. Yeah, I mean, is he okay? Well, you know, as well as could be expected. Andre Walker said some good things on his YouTube channel. We did indeed, Kevin. He did indeed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw open the link. If anyone wants to join us this afternoon, you can. I will give you the chance to have your say. You won't be able to stay on for ages, but I'm going to throw open the link. If you want to pop on and have your say, you're welcome to do so. Ryan says the Southport situation is on a lot of people's minds, Paul. Look, I agree. That is the most important thing, but we must remember that we can't talk about the case itself. That is not right. So we have to be very, very careful. Jeff is first in. Jeff, good afternoon.
Oh, hello there.
How you doing?
I'm not too bad, thanks. I'm getting a bit of echo, but
I can hear you very well, and there's no echo coming through this end, at least. It might be that your volume's a bit high.
Maybe, yeah.
Don't turn your own voice down, though. What did you have on your mind, mate?
Well, I just wanted to thank everybody for turning up on Saturday. It was a brilliant day. Excellent.
You went yourself, yeah? You was there yourself, Jeff, yeah?
Yes, I was indeed. Yeah, I was there. It was a great day. Fantastic. The sun came out in the end, just about, which was very good.
It tried, didn't it?
But what I wanted to, my big question to do with the defamation case against Tommy Robinson originally, I'm a bit perplexed by the fact that the young lad Jamal is not pursuing the case again, being as the video is still up. Now, if it was a defamation case against me, I would be worried that that video was still up, and I'd be, looking to do something about that video still being up. What I'm thinking is maybe the lad's got what he's wanted, and they don't want anybody to pry any further. I don't know.
Who knows? I mean, look, none of us know, to be fair, Jeff, none of us know. Let me just bring in the vlogging journalist. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks, Paul. I'm hearing something else here. I don't know if you can hear this. Something else in the background. Can you hear me? No.
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, okay then. I'm hearing this twice. I don't know why. Anyway, I'll try and get through it. Yeah, I've been. No, I can't do this, Paul. Call me back in a minute. Let me try and get rid of.
Try and come back in a minute. KD, how are you doing? You okay?
Pretty angry, if I'm honest.
Go on, tell me why.
Some of the reports that are coming out of what's happening with Tommy, I just think it's absolutely outrageous. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been left speechless, to be honest.
What do we expect? We know how the mainstream media lie. We know what they do. I'll be honest with you. I've been following him for so long that I've got beyond anger. I actually try not to read it because, look, I don't read books, for instance, that I know are not true. I don't watch the BBC because it just winds me up and I know it's all nonsense. So I try and stay away from what the mainstream media say about Tommy.
It's not so much what the mainstream media are saying. I mean, at the moment, the silence is deafening.
Yeah,
it's more to do with what we're getting from the media and the independent online journalists with regards to his housing situation within the unit. Are we living in a communist style state now where they have political assassinations within jail?
Well, I mean, look. We have to be sensible about what we say. Let me just welcome in Hayley. Hayley, welcome. I'll be with you. Be with you in a minute. I mean, look, do the state want Tommy dead? We have to let people make their own minds up about that one. Right now, what we do know is...
your comms have broken up. Your voice is bouncing.
Can you hear me? Can everyone else hear me all right? Can everyone hear me okay?
I can hear you. Well, I'm not in the thing.
Hayley, can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you.
No, I don't know if you can hear me, Paul, but your voice is just bouncing all of a sudden.
Okay, KD, I'm going to have to let you go, my love, because everyone else can hear me okay. It's probably your end, I think. Hayley, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you, Paul.
What did you want to say?
I'm on holiday, so I can actually join for a change.
That's good. You're welcome. What did you want to say?
Oh, I'm not sure what we're talking about. I've literally just logged on because
okay. Well, we're talking about Tommy being in jail, and the conversation has been why he's in jail, and the lack of fairness. I mean, basically, the floor's yours. If you've got anything on your mind, now's the time to say it.
Well, I'm just appalled at everything that's happening in today's society. I mean, it's just. It's like Clown World. You just couldn't write this, could you? Yeah. You literally couldn't write it. The unfairness, the travesty of it all. It's absolutely. I mean, seriously, I wake up in the morning and I just think it's all going to be a bad dream.
A lot of people feel it's funny you say that. That's exactly what my wife says. She feels that she's going to wake up and it's all been a bad dream. But unfortunately, it's not. It's the world that we're living in right now. But hopefully things will get better. Let me bring in Martin. Martin, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Paul. How are we doing?
I'm very well, Martin. What would you like to say?
Well, thank you. You're sounding a bit better now, mate. Anyway,
I'm a bit better. I'm not
your man flu.
Yeah, I'm not 100%, but I'm getting there.
Well, we all know how deadly that is, mate.
It is indeed.
This is something that's crossed my mind. I'm with a union. And I had something come up on my feed. How come the unions were paying folks and putting stuff on to go down London on 26th as an anti-Tommy rally, if you like? Yeah. Now, would that be anything to do with the government paying the unions, what was it, 9 billion or something, and paying all them off, getting all them a flipping good rise?
Yeah.
Now, has that got something to do with that? Look, we'll pay you all this money, but you've got to back us up, and I want you lot to put an anti-Tommy rally on.
All we
Or
do
is
know
that
is,
just me, like, thinking
well,
a bit?
it's a possibility, but what we do know is that the far left out there, and let's be honest, the far left, are they even the far left? Are they the real far right? Because let's have it right. We was at the rally Saturday. There is absolutely no evidence of any levels of far right whatsoever. In fact, it was completely and utterly the opposite.
Yeah, of course.
All races, creeds, colours, religions.
Yeah.
We were all there, happy together, peace, harmony, no trouble, virtually zero arrests, which is an amazing achievement for such a large crowd. And
Yes.
we need to be making it more clear. Joseph Robertson said something the other day, which I felt was very apt. We need to make communism a dirty word again, because that is what's happening. We are being infiltrated by communists. That's what's happening in our country. And we need to make it very clear ourselves. We've done it before, but we need to make more of an effort so that the media understand we are not the far right. The far right is very, very small, and they are not welcome amongst us. We don't want anything to do with the genuine far right.
Paul,
Well, no, obviously, of course not. But don't the unions realise that a lot of their members, myself included, are for Tommy Robinson and
But here's the
against
catch.
what everything is going on?
Martin, here's the catch. And I'm going to ask you the question. Please be honest with me. Do you say much about that to your fellow union members and to your union itself?
I've not really spoke to anybody, Paul, to be fair, mate, because I've not been able to work for 12 months.
No, I understand.
Because of ill health, and I'm waiting for my cancer treatment to start, mate.
Okay.
So I've not had any contact at work, mate. Otherwise,
but
I would
Martin,
do, because
Martin,
a lot of people think like me at work.
Yeah, Martin, that is the problem, my friend, is that a lot of people within the unions that do support us are scared to say because they will be bullied. The time has got to come where people stand up and say, no, I'm going to have my say. The trouble is, the thing is, it will potentially cost people their jobs. Hayley, come in. What was you going to say?
yeah, I was just going to say I read a Facebook note post on my this morning on my village where I live, and people were complaining about the youth in the village, how it's gotten a lot worse, the vandalism, the damage. Kids are out of control. What can we do? And someone was saying, oh, we need to get CCTV put in everywhere so we can catch them. And I was just thinking, you know, it's just another sort of kind of what's happened to our country over the years. It's this, you need to get, it's not the CCTV that we need to get into the schools. We need to get proper teachers back in schools. We need to get teachers. When I was at school, I'm Generation X, teachers wore suits, men wore suits, women dressed conservatively. You could tell the teachers from the kids. Now you can't tell the difference, who's the teacher and who's the kid. And teachers dress like they just fell out of a skip. I hate to say it, but some of them do.
Again,
It's
Hayley,
appalling.
the whole teaching industry has been infiltrated by the hard left. We've allowed that to happen, and this is the
What
result.
they're being taught is absolutely appalling. Most of them, they put these Facebook posts out, Instagram posts, whatever, and the grammar and the spelling is appalling. But they know how to march down. I mean, look at that clip we all saw at the weekend from the rally from the left. That child, that was just really upsetting and disgusting.
That sums it up. I mean, that's our future. That's our future. Yeah. Look, guys, I'm going to drop you out. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I've got a few things that I need to get on. Martin, thanks for joining us, mate. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Paul.
Hayley, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it very much. All the best. Have a great day. Thank you very much. Right, guys. So let's get into what we can talk about. No one is talking about the case, the Southport case itself. No one is speculating. Certainly I'm not. And we understand that any speculation would be wrong. We respect that. And the law must be able to take its course. And nothing should be allowed to potentially damage this very important case. People are simply questioning the timing of what was known by Keir Starmer, Yvette Cooper, and indeed Merseyside Police? And did this have what they potentially knew? Did that have a detrimental effects, the timing I'm talking about, on the public's behaviour during the riots? Because it appears to a lot of people, I'm not saying it does, but it appears to a lot of people that this may have well been the case. And that the problems we saw could potentially and possibly could have been avoided. I'll pop the link into the chat if you want to come in live again. I've just popped it in there. Now, look, the public aren't stupid, but if you treat the people like fools, don't be surprised when they start to act foolish. I said it back then and I'll say it again. What the nation needed at that time, a very, very sad and tragic time, was a leader. We needed words of comfort, strength, support, and we needed strong leadership. Instead, what we got was threats and the demonisation of worried parents and grandparents who were all labelled as being far right. And some were even thrown in jail. For what? Well, let's face it, when you look back, many of them for not a lot. These are questions totally unrelated to the case itself, and I believe they should be answered. Shutting down the subject in their house yesterday did nothing to quell the public's suspicions, and those suspicions aren't going to go away. Eventually, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth will come out. And I predict there's a lot more to come, and that Keir Starmer and Yvette Cooper may well end up having a lot of explaining to do. That's my view on it. Let me bring KD back in. Hopefully her audio's okay now. KD, I actually can't bring you back in for some reason.
Yeah, it's me. Actually, it's not KD. It's a vlogging journalist.
Vlogging journalist. Let me just, KD, I can see you in the back room there. I'm trying to allow you in, but it's not allowing me.
You got me again?
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Let me just try again. No, I'm sorry, KD. It's not allowing me to let you back in. Carry on, my friend. What's on your mind?
Well, a few days ago, I went to Belmarsh and I was outside for about an hour. And I did try to organise a few people the night before, but, you know, I'm not that big on YouTube. So anyway, no one turned up. So I had a little sing-song for Tommy. So I was outside singing to myself. But I'll tell you what, I felt really good afterwards. And I just thought, why aren't we doing something like this on a regular basis? Organising protests. And what would be even better than just a sing-song, get some of the boards up and put on there, get in the middle of the road, put on, you know, hoot the horn for Tommy. And if we could do it at a time where we know he's exercising, he's going to hear that.
Yeah. Okay. Look. So first of all, a word. This is very important. You've brought up a very important subject there. I've seen a few rumours on X. I've seen a few things floating about where people are saying, you know, we need to protest, etc., etc. Look, there's a time and a place for that. I would not encourage anyone to go on any unauthorised or pre-planned event, because that, you know, could give the authorities the excuse to start arresting people. We don't want anyone getting themselves into trouble. The team that is close to Tommy will put things out. The place to look out for is on the Urban Scoop website or on the Urban Scoop X account. Anything official will go through that channel. But for now, we're having a look at all the options. Anything that we do will be properly liaised with the police and agreed with the police. Otherwise, people could be leading themselves into trouble. I know that's not what people might want to hear, but believe me when I tell you, it is the safest way to do it. Anything revolving around this has to be done properly. Otherwise, we're going to see more people getting themselves into trouble. And that's the last thing that we want to do. KD, I've actually got you back now. I don't know what happened there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Every time I enter the room, your voice starts to bounce. It's like a lot of technical interference.
Oh, I don't know what that is. Sorry. It's the same as always. What did you have to say? If you want to have your say, and I'll just stay quiet.
To be honest, I don't know where you got to. I spent so long trying to get back in again.
Yeah.
I'm not even quite sure we get to in the conversation. I mean, I've just heard you sort of caught the tail end of what you just said with regards to doing things properly and liaising with the police, but over what?
Well, any meetings that people have in mind, people are talking about getting together, people are talking about demonstrations. You know, my advice to anyone is not to take part in an unorganised demonstration that hasn't been agreed with the police, because if you do that, you're opening yourselves up to problems. So, and we don't want problems. We don't want people being arrested. Go on, carry on.
That's fair enough. I mean, how often are you planning to do these demonstrations? Because the timing of that announcement yesterday was absolutely appalling. They hoped that the budget would bury that announcement, and it's got to be kept in the public eye. It's got to be kept up there.
Absolutely,
so
I couldn't agree.
Answers, because it would appear that from what they've said, if Starmer knew from the very beginning about this guy, then there are people that have written things online that are in jail. They've imprisoned people falsely.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've just had, quite a bit to say about that. You know, we do deserve answers. And I said that, if you treat the people like fools, don't be surprised when they end up bloody behaving like fools. I mean, some of those people that went out rioting were not out rioting because they were worried about those kids. Some of those people were out rioting because they wanted to steal and rob. I'm not worried about them.
But there were some that were there that because they felt like we're being gaslit so much.
Absolutely.
They felt like it was the only outlet that they had.
Yeah.
To, not that I'm supporting rioting or violence.
No, not at all. Well,
but it was their way of saying, something, I've had enough because there's no other way. We're being gaslit so much. I've never known anything like it.
KD, none of us should ever support anyone that goes out and commits violence or criminal acts. But a lot of those people that were arrested, from what I've seen, were arrested for hurty words.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, that's a different kettle of fish. That's a different thing altogether. So we will support those people. At the moment, going back to any planned events, that I'm not in charge of that. So I can't tell you for sure. What I can tell you is that things are being looked at, options are being looked at, and we will look at those options and take what we believe ultimately to be the right moves, but they will always remain legal, lawful and peaceful. That's the only way.
No, I absolutely agree.
It's the only way. Right, there's a lot of noise coming from one of you three guys. Do you know which one it is? There's kids or family in the background.
It's not me.
I don't think it's me.
Me.
Is anyone making a noise in here? No, not in a minute.
Okay, so let me go back to, let's have a look. Jeff, you're back on again, mate.
All right, cheers. Just for the sake of anybody coming into the chat, I've realised why we get bounced. It's because I'm now in the studio, but I've still got YouTube going. So what you need to do is turn the volume of YouTube off and you won't get any bounce. That's how it works.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
As regards to what's happened in terms of, well, I just think it's ridiculous that Parliament has been shut up altogether. It's really, it just really riles my mind as to why Parliament, which is supposed to be the free speech capital of the world, has been closed down. I understand for some reasons, fair enough, but I don't know. As everybody else is asking the same questions, what did the government know? What did Starmer know? What did Yvette Cooper know? And we need to find this out. We just need to find this out, Paul.
Well, it's not going away, is it? Let me just bring vlogging journalist. I'm afraid the background noise, my friend, is coming from your end.
Is it? Okay.
And
Right.
it's, I've got to be honest, it's quite unbearable. So we're either going to have to quieten your background down, or I'm going to have to kick you out of the studio. Right, let's have a look. Let me bring in Martin. Let me bring Martin in. Martin, can you see me?
Yeah, sorry, my camera's a bit bad.
Yeah.
I need to be careful what I say here, but
Yeah, please, Martin, please do be careful. Remember, you're responsible for your own words, so be careful.
Yeah, I'm a district councillor for a political party, but I am a supporter of Tommy's because I've been watching loads of Tommy's stuff and demonstrations and everything else. I am in one of the other two parties, but not the Conservatives, nor the party that's in power now. But I was going to join Reform, but because of their criticism regarding Tommy, that really annoyed me and has not made me very happy. So at the moment, I'm staying where I am, not because I want to, but because Reform need to apologise for what they said about Tommy. And
yeah,
you know,
well,
so
I don't know if you saw. Did you see Dan Wotton last night at all?
I'm not sure.
Apparently, Nigel Farage. Just let me say good afternoon to Bobby. Bobby, I'll be with you in a minute, my friend.
Yes,
apparently, Dan Wotton said that Nigel Farage had been in contact with him to say that Richard had gone over the top, but I'm afraid that's not good enough. It's all very well for Nigel.
Not.
It's not good enough. You know, I mean, look, I think Richard was put under pressure. He was caught on the hop by Camilla Tominey. But if anyone needs to apologise, it's Richard, and it wouldn't hurt. It will go down very well, I think, with the vast majority of us. We're all forgiving people. I mean, if Richard come on and went, look, I'm sorry, she caught me on the hop, hands on my heart, I got it wrong, give me another chance, right? That would go down well. It would satisfy most people. And if Nigel wants to say anything, if he wants to apologise, the place to say it is on his own channel. He's got a big channel. That's the place to say it, not to Dan Wotton behind the back door. I mean, Dan done a great job last night. And yes, if Nigel sent me a message, I'd pass it on. But Nigel needs to tell us himself.
Yeah, I'll be careful what I say because I'm gonna go and let other people speak. But regarding the Stockport thing, if people were told certain information then, maybe they wouldn't have rioted the way that they did, because in their head they thought whatever it was, and now we find out it is. So that's all I'm going to say about it. But I think we have been lied to. That's all I will say, because we have to be careful what we say. And I think if they'd have told people earlier, it wouldn't
it could have been avoided.
Demonstration wouldn't have been so bad.
Yeah, Martin, thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Bobby,
I've left you my phone. I've left you my phone number.
Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. Don't put it in the chat.
Oh right, I did.
Yeah, no. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can remove that. It's in, no. If you put it in the chat, remove it.
Okay.
All the best, mine. Take care, mate. Thank you. Bobby, good afternoon.
Hello, mate. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah. How you doing?
Yeah, pretty good, mate. Yeah, pretty good.
What would you like to say?
Yeah. So basically, I just wanted to join this today just to say how good it was on the Saturday. It was amazing. The whole event ran smoothly. I actually met Nick in Wetherspoons, and we were talking about Reform. And yeah, I said to him, have you signed the pledge? And he said, I've signed about 15 pledges, mate. And we had a pint, and then obviously he'd done his speech, and it was amazing. I just want to get on here and say thank you. The movement's amazing, and it's only going to get bigger and better, this, isn't it?
Yeah, I hope so. Look, you know, at the end of the day, we've been trying to do things right for a very long time. We've been trying to, you know, present the real face of who we are, not the face that the media like to pretend we are. That is very important because, look, I said on day one, from the day that I came into this, I said, if I meet the genuine far right here, I'm out. Because it ain't a bit of me. I'm not interested in extremism, either from the left or from the right. Extremism doesn't work. Extremism is horrible. And I haven't found any extremism. All I've found is people on the centre ground who just want peace and harmony for our lovely country. That's all I've found.
Yeah, I mean, when I was there, when I was looking around, I could see the audience was around about 40 to 50 years of age. But what I really wanted to see was a lot of young people there, you know. There was only about 5% of the audience were young, and I was thinking to myself, if we had more of a younger audience, we could really push on with this UKIP movement and obviously make UK great again. I mean, what I did notice with the event is that we have to be careful what we say. We have to make sure we don't cut off society. You know, we want to be one world. We want to be one nation, don't we? So I did, when I was there, I was thinking, oh, you know, is that, should they say this? Should they say that? But on the event, mate, the event was amazing. It was awesome.
Look, the event was
so happy to
amazing.
be in London.
Yeah, the event was amazing. Jeff, I'm going to bring you again in a minute as well, mate. I mean, look, it was an amazing event. It could always be better. But when you've got 100, 200,000 people, or however many there were, I have no idea. But when you've got that amount of people, it's impossible to keep everyone happy. There are always going to be people that go away for some reason or another. Maybe they couldn't hear properly. Maybe they couldn't see properly. Maybe they were uncomfortable standing for. You know, you can't please everyone. But what they can do is they can only do their best. The movement is growing, and it's absolutely vital that we bring youngsters in. The trouble with the youngsters is that if you're under 25 in this country, if you're under 30, mostly you've had your brains washed. You've been through the mill.
Yeah.
And they just don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, I speak to a lot of kids, and they just, all they say is, I've give up, mate. I don't care about the government. They don't care about me. They're all on TikTok. They're all just fed up. And we've felt, you know, I'm 38. We've felt like this for years.
Yeah.
But we carry on. But their attitude now is to just don't give a monkeys. They're all as bad as each other. But it needs to change, you know. And if this gets bigger, then
it does need to change. But we are bringing younger people to the group. AJ Aldrich is a new member. Thank you, Gail. Thank you very much. We are bringing younger people to the movement. We're also putting together a ladies group, especially for the girls, which I think is going to be great. We have people from different ethnicities. I wouldn't say creeping in. I would say they're pouring in, which is a good thing. We need those guys because, you know, without them, we don't want to be a crowd of white working class Englishmen. We want to be, people might not like this word, but it's the truth. We want to be a diverse crowd. We are a diverse country. Whether people like that or not, that's up to them. What we got to have is a crowd that's got red, white and blue in their hearts. That's all that counts for me. Jack, thank you. Hi, Paul. Can a PO box or something be open for Tommy's family so we can send them letters of support? All correspondence needs to go to Belmarsh. And let me just put that. If you want to write to Tommy, that's the details. I personally would leave his name off the envelope. I would just say prisoner number, because if you put his name on there, you know what the post office are like. You know, they'll start chucking them away, burning them, doing whatever. It wouldn't surprise me. So if you just put the address of the prison, Belmarsh Prison, prison number A2084CG, and all being well, that should That should get to him. Adam's a new member. Thank you. AJ Audits again. Is anything happening about the prison governor after what she said about moving Tommy to the main wing? PS, don't forget to email me the interview. Thanks very much. Look, as far as we know, Tommy, well, I say as far as we know, we've had an update this morning. He's fine. He's been told he can stay in that secure unit. At first, apparently, it was going to be too expensive. I don't know how they worked that one out. It's not like they can sell it or, you know, put someone that pays a higher rent in there, is it? I mean, it's just ridiculous. Choose change. Thank you. Really appreciate that. After yesterday's budget, it's ironic. They can't afford to keep. Yeah, they can't afford to keep Tommy in a safe environment. But we could send millions of pounds overseas every year and spend £15 million a day on people arriving onto our shores undocumented. I mean, no wonder our taxes are going up. I don't know how it's affected. I haven't studied it too closely. I have just been too busy. But I think it was a pretty rough budget from what I saw. Jeff, you got anything to add, mate?
Well, no, I was just wanting to speak about the crowd that was there on Saturday. I mean, it was absolutely fantastic. I mean, you actually saw people talking to one another. People that had never met before were talking to each other, having a great laugh, and it was good fun. And I'd like to point to Wesley Winter's YouTube channel. He put out a video this morning where he went to both sides, and you can really see the difference.
Yes.
And Shady Shays put a video out last night. That was brilliant, that one.
Yeah.
Just to show you what would you call it? I don't know. They had a woman on there with a son that was swearing. It was terrible. It was disgusting. But here we go. You know, this is the way it is.
I mean, look, our crowd is brilliant, and you know, they make me so proud because they come along, they behave themselves, they're polite to everyone. Listen, let me tell you something. We even had a member of the opposition from the other side filming and commentating during the event. Everyone knew he was there. Everyone knew what he was doing, and no one said a word to him. We just let him get on with it because that's what we do. We're peaceful people. We didn't attack him. We didn't send the stewards over there to throw him out. We didn't, you know, there was no aggression towards him. You try that the other way around and see what happens to you. Yet
it was very difficult. It was very, you know, Wesley was having a bit of a tough time to try to get anybody to speak, actually. People were being shut down by other people.
Yeah,
not the people who wanted to speak, but by event organisers, and the amount of posters they had pre-prepared, stacked up in piles, ready for people to pick up. It was unbelievable, you know.
This is all a result. This is all a result of us allowing people to get away with far too much for far too long.
It is,
We've given them an inch, and they've taken 10 miles.
The amount of messages I got from my mates who said, "I can't believe you're going to that, Bobby. Jesus Christ, be careful." You know, and it literally my inbox the day after was like, because I posted a few pictures. They were like, "Wow, it looks amazing, mate. I wish I went."
Yeah.
And I said, "Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Just, you know, don't be afraid of the media." It seems like a lot of people are just. I go down the pub and they're just completely and utterly petrified. Like,
yeah, they are still afraid,
you know,
because that's the narrative that the media pushes. But the thing is, what people should understand is that when they come along to these events, they are surrounded by ordinary British people with common values, good values. They're surrounded by people that want peace, and that's what you find. That's what you experience. You experience a peaceful, loving event.
Yeah, I mean, there was American veterans there. There was Trump activists. There was all colours and all nations. It was that's what we are, isn't it? You know, it was. If you're watching this now and you're afraid, just come along to the next one, because
please don't be.
I was afraid for 2 of them before, and I just thought, right, I'm going this time. You know.
Well, this is the thing. This is why.
Yeah.
Brilliant, Bobby. This is what I said earlier on. This is what I said earlier on, lads, and it's important that the audience understand this. Please do not attend unorganised, unplanned street events. It is not wise because nobody has any control over it. We had on Saturday the most unbelievably well-trained and experienced security team in place. Ex-armed forces, ex-police officers, proper accredited security guys, close personal protection guys, all professionals in this field. They know how to behave. They know how to react to a problem when it arrives so that it doesn't have to be dealt with by the police. We want to give the police the easiest day in their lives. I was actually loving it Saturday. I was behind stage looking at the dozens of police behind in case anything went wrong, and half of them looked like they were asleep because they had nothing to do. We made sure that the event went off. So what I'm saying is, if you see events planned that aren't properly organised with an organiser, with a police liaison officer, then there could be problems because no one is in charge. So that's why I want people to be careful. I'm sorry to go on about it, but every time one of our own gets themselves in the problems, you know, it's like a knife in the heart, and you think, oh no, how did that happen? How did that happen? We don't want that happening.
You see, Paul, this is a difficulty though, isn't it? Because all the demos, and I've been to the 3 main ones, and I went to St. George's Day, which wasn't quite as nice, but
yeah,
ever so. But the problem is it's always in London, and this is what a lot of people say. But to try and organise them on a national scale would be absolutely horrendous because, as you say, the amount of work that goes into the London one, you're going to have to do something similar to any of the other big cities. I'm in Manchester, so, you know, I mean...
Well, this is it, Jeff. Jeff, it's a great point that you bring up there, but what I would ask the people to remember is that, look, we are not... We could announce nationwide demos any day of the week. Do you think that would be a good thing or a bad thing? Now, a lot of people out there might say be a good thing. No, it wouldn't. It'd be an absolute disaster.
Yeah.
It would be an absolute disaster. You'd have people getting arrested. The Unite the Kingdom brand would be dragged through the mud. We'd all be labelled.
Yeah.
It has to be done properly.
Yeah.
Every step forward, we have to take step forwards, not 1 step forward and 2 steps back.
Paul, I think we will get there eventually. I think that the seeing these rallies, seeing these rallies going ahead may instill more people. You know, I haven't got the gumption to try and organise it, but I would still be involved in somebody up here in the Northwest if they wanted to get together and we could try something like that. But it is going to take some time, unfortunately. That's the way I see it anyway. So
of course it's going to take time.
In the meantime, you know, I just have to put my hand in the pocket. I'm pretty lucky I'm retired. I'm not rich. But fortunately, you know, with the pensioners' travel pass and discounts and what have you, I've been able to get to London on a return fare of around about £50 or £60, which is not bad.
That's good.
So, but it's not the case for anybody that has to pay full price. But even so, I try and do them a bit anyway.
I tell you what the government are going to have to deal with next. The farmers, they are pissed.
Yeah, definitely.
The farmers are seriously pissed, and they can rally a very good crowd. The farmers. So the government have got a lot of problems on their hands. They've got a lot of questions to be answered. Thanks, Emma. I really appreciate that. Joyce, thank you. Tommy, working class guy with a double-barreled surname. Thank you. Perry, appreciate that. PT, Fulham and British legend. Keep up the good work, Perry. Mike and Lita, thank you very much, Perry. Appreciate that, mate. Really do. Let me just get through 1 or 2 of these more. Gamer, thank you. This girl loves to shop. Yeah, for a while I've been feeling like I've been living in simulation. I mean, I've got to tell you, the amount of girls, the women that come up to me and tell me how upset they are and how worried they are. And it's horrible, absolutely horrible. Northern Rose, thank you. Hi, Paul. Saturday was my first rally. I've never felt so safe and surrounded by peaceful people. Mainstream media would have seen that, and if they got in the crowd rather than flying by in a helicopter. What a brilliant message. I mean, yeah, you're never going to feel safer. Gary, appreciate that. Sweet Hamster. Oh, gifted 5 memberships. There's an opportunity for someone. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, I mean, I can only reiterate every single time. I mean, at St. George's Day, Jeff, as you just mentioned a minute ago, didn't go off quite as well. That was the first of 4 rallies last year. The last 3 were absolutely, this year. Sorry, not last year. The first of 4 rallies this year. The 3 after St. George's Day have been absolutely perfect. St. George's Day, I feel it had a blip, and I feel the police learned a lesson that day.
There's a police cause that.
The police caused it. The police caused it, in my opinion. It was down to them 100%. I feel it was down to the police. But what I will say is, we have a liaison officer now who is an absolute and utter gentleman. Shook everyone's hand at the end of the event on Saturday. I don't know what his political persuasions are, but I tell you what, whatever they are, he's a proper copper and he deserves our respects. And he tries to make sure we're safe, and we do everything within our power to make sure that our people behave themselves and that his police officers remain safe, because that's what we want.
Most of the time, the police were in the distance. They weren't really in the crowd. I mean,
well, these are the agreements. This is what I'm saying, Jeff. These are the agreements that we come to with them. To have a successful demonstration, you must have dialogue. And it's no good going into a demonstration or an event or a rally, whatever you want to call it, when there's been no dialogue with the police. They haven't got a clue what you're doing. You haven't got a clue what they're going to do. Even to the point where Richard, bless his heart, was discussing how the police would present themselves in what they're wearing. And the police have been very accommodating. We don't need to see police dressed up like the SAS with crash helmets on. That's not a good look.
Well, they didn't need it anyway, did they?
And they didn't need it. So what I think we've all learned is that the police have learned they don't need to dress like that with us. And we've learned that if we behave, they won't need to dress like that. So everyone's a winner, surely. Choose change. I praised as many of them as I could. They couldn't believe how well behaved the event was. Absolutely. As I said,
so did I
think half of them look bloody bored, to be honest with you. Stephen Kenyon, any plans for a rally in Brighton or Hampshire? There aren't. I don't think you get very far down in Brighton because it's Lefty City. And that would just, you don't deliberately want to demonstrate in an area where you're going to attract a problem. Sean, thank you so much.
I'm from Hampshire, so hello, Sean.
Matrix, another attack just the other day. Kalvinder Ram, a 48-year-old man of Indian origin. Okay, I haven't read about that, so I'll have to check that one up. Is this Britain now? Thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. No more supers today, guys. Appreciate those. Let's have a little look at the regular chat. Get some of you in. Hi, Jane. How you doing? Richard Inman said that the prison had received 10,000 emails from Tommy supporters. Unbelievable. And they'll be coming in on a daily basis.
I believe it's his birthday soon as well, 27th of November.
27th, yeah, 27th.
So send a birthday card.
Yeah, we all need to do that, yeah.
Should be a movie about Tommy, shouldn't there?
Well, I think there will be one day. I mean, there has to be. There has to be. Yeah, it's just who plays him, isn't it? I know Tommy would like Tom. What's his name?
Tom Hardy.
Yeah, to play him. Yeah.
He's only speaking his mind, isn't he? He's only saying what we all think.
Yeah, exactly.
I've met Tommy actually on a few occasions.
You've met him, you say?
Yes, I've met him. Yeah, when he was campaigning to be an MEP up in the north.
Oh, okay.
I went to a few of his gatherings. One was a bit hairy actually up in Oldham. That was a bit tricky. That one.
Yeah, there can be. Yeah, but hopefully those days are over. We're looking to move along. We've got more mature people coming into the movement now with maybe more mature brains and minds. Better. I don't mean that's the wrong word. What's the right word? People with better attitudes are coming in and just making their feelings known, and more mature views are coming to the fore, which is great.
I mean, to be honest with you, Paul, I've waxed and waned over Tommy, in the first instance, and then gone off him a little bit and then come back again. But I think people are starting to realise, those that do look at his history, look at his videos, and really start to analyse that, he's not perfect. Who is perfect these days?
Yeah, no one is, are they? No.
But I mean, he's maturing. I mean, the guy is really maturing, And,
he's going to be a statesman one day. I believe he'll be a statesman. Let me just read this out, because this is very important. Michael Hancock says, fed up with George Orr. Look, Michael, I know a lot of people are fed up with George Orr, but what's the alternative, my friend? You want to go and get yourself arrested? Be my guest, but don't ask anyone else to join in. You got to play it cool. We've got to do the George Orr, because George Orr is basically what will ultimately win. And we are winning. We are actually winning, believe it or not. The movement is growing like you wouldn't believe. And we had people on the main street. Look, this week, Alex Phillips has done an interview with Tommy. Who's the guy last night that was talking about Tommy? Oh, blimey, I forget his name now, but another mainstream media journalist. People are starting to talk about it. Jess, I cancelled my union membership. I would advise everyone to do that. You got to hit them in the pockets.
Join UKIP.
Well, I've got to be honest. On that note. Look, Bobby, was that Bobby said that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bobby, I've got to be honest. UKIP's not for me at the moment, but look.
I see what you're saying there. I totally understand what you mean by that.
There are problems for me with UKIP.
Yeah.
But
without talking about it, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I've just cancelled my membership. But that doesn't mean to say I wouldn't vote reform. We've got to see what happens in the future.
It's interesting because if this
it was the first party that I ever joined. I've never joined a political party before, but I did join Reform a year ago.
Yeah.
And, after particularly what Richard says, and I agree with you. I think he was put on the spot there, and I think he just blurted an answer out. But, I thought to myself, well, I don't know. Why am I supporting a political party? I can vote for whatever party I want, and I don't have to pay. I know, it might be good to be a member, but just at the moment, if I feel there's a change in the air, then I may join again. But I may vote as well.
Look, I said it the other way. I said, the other night, what I said was, look, Reform needs to bring a bunch of flowers to the table. There's a lot of people out there that want to support them, but are just feeling very, very hurt at the moment. I think Nigel knows. In fact, I know he knows. He knows the situation. He's not stupid. And I do think that I believe there will be efforts to repair the damage. When, how, I don't know. But there has to be an effort to repair the damage.
We've still got some time yet.
What we need is a political party so we can all believe in, so you can get the movement to be bigger, and then you'll pull in a younger audience. Then together we'll be stronger as one, rather than, like you say about UKIP and Reform, they seem to be just not saying the right things at the right time.
No, not always. T's got a good comment there. We're the far middle. That's what we are, really. We're the far middle, aren't we? I mean, let's be honest. No, it's a good way of putting it, I think. Yeah, not the unions, it's the leaders, to be honest. Colin's saying. Let's just go through one or two more of these. Paul, sorry to disappoint you, but the far left will class you as far right. Oh, of course they would. They class anyone to the right of Stalin as being far right, wouldn't they? They class the Conservative Party as far right. It's become a joke. The far left were very aggressive towards the camera on Saturday. Go West Media. Thank you very much for that. What was on my mind? I was going to say something and it's gone out of my mind. Look, I think the bottom line is that what we've got to do now is understand there's a lot of people out there that get frustrated because some people like one way forward, some people like another way forward, some people don't agree with what I say, they might agree with what Richard says or with what Jeff Taylor says or what Mayer says. What we've all got to remember is we've all got to become tolerant of each other. One thing that the left is very, very good at doing is sticking together. There are groups within the left that absolutely detest each other, but they all have one political goal and they stick to it. And the right is not so good at that. We need to be forgiving. If people are watching me right now saying, I don't agree with Paul, I think we should do this. Well, that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. But remember that we're all still singing from the same song sheet, or we should be. Let me have a little look at this. I've read that one, haven't I? Thank you very much. Charlotte, watch Baraka Amuri video. Miliband's contracts net zero youth are supporting, but worry may lose work, home safety, especially for me as a young woman who's already been targeted without opinions public. Thank you, Charlotte. Really appreciate that. Look, Baraka does some brilliant videos. Going to get him on the show again very soon. Guys, look, we're going to round it up. Thank you, Jeff, for joining us this afternoon. Really appreciate it. All the best.
You,
have a great weekend.
What you
Bobby,
do, brilliant.
Thank you. Thank you, Bobby, for popping on. I'm going to boot you lads out and then I'll say goodbye to the rest of the audience. Let me just, there you go. Thank you very much to the lads for joining us tonight, this afternoon, I should say. W. Cartis, no more supers today now, thank you, because I might not be able to get to read them. I was there on Saturday. What a great day, standing together against Starmer's tyranny. I've emailed my MP about ensuring Tommy's safety. Thank you, Paul. Thank you so much for doing that. We did have one report from someone earlier on that got a reply from their Labour MP that just said, not interested. Tommy's not my constituent. Go away, basically. That was about the sum total of their concern about a man who is currently in a high category, high security prison in solitary confinement for a civil offence. This is the United Kingdom in 2024. Right, everyone, thanks so much for joining us. If you haven't done so already, please give us a thumbs up. Would appreciate it. Does help with the video. And I will see you very shortly. All the best. Have a great Thursday.